hear my heart, Richard. I'm not a investigator. I'm not a police officer. I'm not a lawyer. I'm not a, I'm not a counselor. I'm not a psychologist. I'm none of those things. Okay, I'm just a dude that the Lord, put in a place, and here I am, by His grace only. So I'm just going to be very frank and very honest with you. Okay, this is what we found, and this is from myself and Levi Lutz. And I'm going to talk to you about your wife a little bit, but pardon me, your ex-wife Lisa, or I don't know where you guys are with this divorce, but I don't mean to be insensitive, is what I'm saying. I don't want to, here's what I found is, like, she is not your issues anymore. Like, you don't need to incriminate her. She doesn't need to incriminate you. Like, there's so much toxic, like, just in my mind, it's like we're just trying to destroy each other. I see that obviously more from her side, but I do see that from your side some as well. Basically, we looked into all of the accusations against you, as far as especially with the women, which was the majority of the accusations was sexual immorality or flirtatious, whatever. So every person that I reached out to, had no idea what I was talking about, and said that you were always extremely professional and never crossed any sort of boundaries or any sort of lines. So I want to commend you for that, because if that wasn't the case, then you would be, we'd be having a very different conversation. But because that's the case, that really, serves you well, and you served yourself well, whenever you were faithful in your marriage and faithful to your wife. So, good on you for that. Obviously, your wife, it seems like there are some things in her mind that are not, the accusations, the text. Rachel sent me this, basically, I would call it harassment. I mean, it's kind of bizarre. And so I don't say any, and I don't want to talk about your wife to you because that's not helpful. But all I'm saying is, I think that you've been, in some ways, a victim of, a woman that's with a vendetta out to get you or something like that. So I want to say, I kind of applaud you for just kind of standing firm and trusting the Lord. I feel like that's what you've been doing. But also, I want to talk to you about something. So here's what we're going to do. So, you get a divorce, we have to sit you down for a certain amount of time. We had to do that with Daniel, and that's kind of the thing. So essentially, we're going to ask you to sit out for 6 months, which is basically the rest of the year, and then that would free you up for 2024 with all the Decapolis and everything. That would free you up to jump in and participate in that, or Decapolis, youth crusades, whatever you want it to be, initiation, whatever. So, but basically, we didn't find any sort of fault in you as far as like texting other women or having any sort of affair or sexual immorality or anything like that. And we wanted to. This is from me and Levi, of course, but we wanted to commend you for that as a man of God, and just say, yeah, take a rest, take a breather. You've been through a lot. You need to make sure that your heart is right before you jump back into the field or jump back into ministry. I'm going to hook you up with one of the kind of pastoral people that you can meet with on a bi-weekly or monthly basis, and just to kind of talk to them about it and just basically explain what's going on in your head, what's going on in your heart, because obviously it's been a traumatic probably experience, and so we want to just make sure that you're in the right spot before you keep going on the path of ministry and on the field, and you've been working hard, you've been one of the hardest workers, so we want to make sure, like, that you're not just in that mode because that's kind of what you've done. We want to make sure that you're, like, pull off the field, reassess, everything, and kind of walk in according to the fear and the will of God. So that's where we're at with that. That's kind of the official decision. Just so I feel like you probably should be aware of this. And again, this is not because I don't want you to use this information in any way. I don't want you to talk to anybody about this. There's no need for you to even really think about this. But just so that you are aware, she's going to be released from the Sheep and Evangelism Alliance. That does not mean that she can't come to Nations Church. Okay, so there may be possibilities that she'll be at Nations Church. If she's caused a huge fuss, we haven't had this conversation with her yet, just so you know, so please do not reach out to her in any way. Please don't communicate with her about this at all. But yeah, we're going to officially release her from the CFAN Evangelism Alliance. She will be welcome at Nations Church, not on any sort of ministry teams, but welcome as like a member to come. And so you guys will have to figure that out, how you, I mean, that's a tough conversation. I don't know what's going to happen or how you guys want to figure that out. If she causes a big fuss, she may be, uninvited from Nations Church.